A potential war with Russia is not comparable to Iraq or Afghanistan. This is an 8-year-long smoldering conflict in which peace agreements have been routinely violated by both sides. It concerns a country in which Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, and Mitt Romney have direct financial interest.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and Marge Trainwreck Greene truly earned her nickname today, pushing Russian propaganda and serving as a Kremlin spokesperson as they commit war crimes against Ukraine. Look, folks, I know she's a moron. I know she's about as intelligent as a bag of hammers. I know that she is only out for headlines, but I also know that that is dangerous. She's being called a useful idiot for Putin. Sad. But yes, that is entirely accurate. Nobody this stupid and useless could possibly be anything but a blight on our own society. But of course, like most of the GQP, Marge has fully submitted to Putin propaganda and now speaks words no different than the talking heads of Russian state TV.
If we truly care about suffering and death on our television screens, we cannot fund more of it by sending money and weaponry to Ukraine to fight a war they cannot possibly win. The only effect of more arms and more money from America will be to prolong the war and magnify human suffering. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be responsible for creating even more refugees and orphans in an already traumatized and dysfunctional world.
The GQP have been brewing a hot romance with Putin for quite some time now, forsaking everything fundamentally American in favor of visions of their own power grab. The Ronald Reagan Republicans are long gone. In fact, I'm pretty sure that the late president is rolling around his grave after the GQP abandoned America to side with Russia, something once thought inconceivable. Folks, that's the story of the birth of the GQP, whose founding principle is fascism and whose prime directive is to destroy American democracy. Now, Marge doesn't have the brains enough to be anything more than a pawn in the game, but she knows her lane. Trainwreck Greene is the normalizer, an important ingredient in any long-term propaganda narrative. Because a segment of our population is too stupid to comprehend that there is an objective discipline for analyzing arguments, which is called logic, they're clueless in understanding what is true and what is false. They simply see two sides of an argument, and whichever side holds them hostage by their hatred, that's the side that they choose as right, no matter how dumb, senseless, and contradictory the argument actually is. Welcome to the world where people are willing to hand their democracy over to a freaking moron. So you see, it's people like Marge that are teetering on a cliff's edge of far right. They take the brunt of the pushback. They're easy to make fun of. But equally as important, look who is silent here. Other than maybe the last remnants of the old GOP like Romney and Cheney who knocked Trainwreck Greene, we don't hear even a glimmer of criticism from anyone else on that side of the aisle. And why is that? They know what Marge is doing for them. She's trailblazing the way to keep pushing the narrative further towards insanity. The Tom Cottons and Mitch McConnells of the party smile as they move closer to the Moscow banks, closer to a free pass on all illegal business practices, and closer to life terms grifting off the backs of working people without ever lifting a finger. And guess what? Their coat jackets are dust-free because sacrificial lambs like Trainwreck Greene push the Overton window so their BS sounds sane in comparison. Look how far that window has already moved. 20 years ago, could you imagine a Trainwreck Greene in Congress, going to neo-Nazi rallies as a routine campaign stop, voting to remove democracy, a foundational thing that defines this country, siding with Russia in a time of war? My God, people, 20 years ago, a degenerate like this is sitting in a corner of a padded cell weaving baskets. In 2022, she's the golden girl of the GQP. Think about that, people. The avalanche of insanity has got to stop. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.